We are coming to you live with some breaking news out of Indonesia. Mount Lewotobi Laki-laki on the island of Flores has erupted, sending a massive plume of ash 9 kilometers into the sky.
Wow.
That's almost the height of Mount Everest.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And this isn't just a spectacular sight. It's causing major disruption across the region and beyond.
Right. This is a significant event. And tragically, 9 lives have already been lost, with over 15,000 villagers forced to evacuate from their homes.
Oh my goodness.
The ash cloud is posing a very real threat, particularly to air travel.
Yeah, that's right. And the impact is being felt acutely by Australian travelers hoping to reach Bali. Major airlines like Jetstar, Qantas, and Virgin Australia have been forced to cancel numerous flights, leaving many passengers stranded and facing uncertainty. So what's making this ash cloud so disruptive to air travel?
Well, volcanic ash isn't like the soft ash you get from burning wood. It's made up of tiny, razor-sharp fragments of rock and glass. For a plane engine, flying through this is like being blasted with sandpaper. It can cause serious damage, leading to potentially catastrophic engine failure.
So it's not just a matter of a bit of dust on the wings, then. It sounds incredibly dangerous. What steps are airlines taking to deal with this chaotic situation?
Well, airlines are scrambling to respond and keep passengers safe. Jetstar is trying to add larger planes to their schedule to clear the backlog of stranded passengers. But they've had to cancel all flights to and from Bali's Denpasar airport until at least 2 p.m.
Wow, so they've just stopped everything.
Yeah.
That must be incredibly frustrating for those who are stuck waiting. What about the other airlines? What are they doing?
The Virgin Australia has taken even more drastic measures, canceling all Bali flights for the entire day.
The whole day?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not just flights heading to Bali that are affected. Some Qantas flights that had already taken off were forced to turn back mid-flight when the danger of the ash cloud became clear. Can you imagine being halfway to your dream vacation and suddenly being turned around?
Well, that would be devastating. Absolutely devastating. And reports from airports are painting a picture of chaos and confusion as passengers try to figure out what's happening. So how did this eruption unfold? When did it all begin?
Well, Mount Lewotobi Laki-laki first erupted on Sunday, spewing that massive column of ash 9 kilometers high.
Wow.
And it wasn't just ash that was ejected. Smoldering rocks, lava, and even hot gravel fragments.
That sounds terrifying. Just how far did this debris travel?
Well, there are reports of these materials being hurled as far as 8 kilometers away from the crater.
Wow.
And on Friday, the situation escalated further, with the ash column reaching a staggering 10 kilometers high, the highest recorded so far.
Wow.
This eruption is a stark reminder of the immense power of nature.
It certainly is. While many are struggling to get to and from Bali, there are some airlines still trying to operate flights, right?
Yeah, some airlines like Garuda Indonesia are still flying to Denpasar. However, with fewer flights available, they're charging extremely high prices for those seats. It's a classic case of supply and demand, but with the added pressure of a volcanic eruption.
So even if you can get a flight, it's gonna cost you. This eruption has been making headlines around the world, and it's easy to get caught up in the travel disruptions. But we can't forget the people whose lives are most directly affected by this volcano. Those who live in the shadow of Mount Lewotobi Laki-laki are facing a very different reality. Let's take a closer look at their experiences and the challenges they're confronting right now.
Yeah, it's hard to even imagine, right? Living just a few kilometers from an erupting volcano. The anxiety and fear they must be experiencing, it's unimaginable, really.
It really is.
A stark reminder that for some, this isn't just a travel disruption, it's a fight for survival.
Absolutely. And over 15,000 villagers have had to flee their homes, leaving everything behind. What kind of challenges are they facing in these evacuation centers?
Well, these evacuation centers are quickly becoming overcrowded, and resources are stretched thin. There's a desperate need for basic necessities like food, clean water, and medical supplies. And then there's the psychological trauma of being displaced from your home, not knowing when or if you can return.
It's heartbreaking to think about what these families are going through.
Yeah.
Beyond the immediate crisis, what are the long-term consequences of this eruption, particularly for Bali's tourism industry?
Well, even after the ash settles and flights resume, the memory of this event might linger in the minds of potential travelers.
Right.
Bali's economy relies heavily on tourism, and this eruption could deal a significant blow.
Yeah.
People might be hesitant to book trips.
Yeah.
Fearing another eruption. even if the actual risk is low.
So it's not just about the immediate disruption. The economic impact could be felt for months or even years to come.
Exactly. Hotels, restaurants, tour operators, everyone who depends on tourism will feel the effects.
Right.
This eruption has really highlighted the vulnerability of an economy so reliant on a single industry.
Yeah.
It also raises questions about how prepared Bali is for these types of events.
That's a good point. What kind of measures can be taken to better prepare for future eruptions? Not just in Bali, but globally.
Well, airlines and airports need robust contingency plans for dealing with volcanic ash disruptions.
Okay.
That includes clear communication with passengers and alternative travel arrangements.
Right.
But it goes beyond the travel industry. Governments and disaster relief agencies need to be prepared to coordinate evacuations, provide aid, and ensure the safety of everyone in affected areas.
So communication seems to be a recurring theme here. Keeping people informed and updated during a crisis is crucial.
Absolutely. Clear and timely communication can help reduce panic and ensure people know what steps to take to stay safe.
Right.
This eruption has certainly brought the dangers of volcanic ash to the forefront, something many of us probably hadn't given much thought to before.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we need to respect the power of nature, even when visiting beautiful and seemingly idyllic destinations.
This eruption has certainly been a wake-up call. What can we learn from this event? Apart from the fact that nature is truly awe-inspiring and unpredictable.
Well, this event underscores the importance of preparedness, not just for individuals, but for industries like tourism and for governments responsible for public safety.
Right.
We also need to improve our understanding of volcanic hazards and develop better early warning systems.
Let's delve a bit deeper into the science behind volcanic eruptions and the dangers of volcanic ash. What exactly causes a volcano to erupt in the first place?
Well, to understand that, you need to imagine what's happening beneath the Earth's surface. Molten rock, known as magma, rises from deep within the Earth, carrying gases with it.
Okay.
As this magma rises, the pressure increases, much like a pressure cooker, eventually. The pressure becomes so great that it overcomes the strength of the surrounding rocks, and boom, you have an eruption.
So it's like popping the cork on a champagne bottle.
Yeah.
But on a much grander scale.
Yeah.
With molten rock and ash being ejected instead of bubbly.
But why is volcanic ash so dangerous to aircraft specifically? Well, volcanic ash is made up of tiny, sharp fragments of rock and glass. When these enter a plane's engine, they can melt in the extremely high temperatures, forming a glassy coating on the engine's internal components.
Oh.
Essentially, it's like clogging the engine with molten glass.
Wow.
This can lead to engine failure. And that's obviously a catastrophic scenario mid-flight.
Yeah, of course.
It's no wonder those Qantas flights turned back when they did.
It sounds terrifying. How do airlines know when and where this volcanic ash is present? Do they just fly around hoping for the best?
Thankfully, no. There are specialized volcanic ash advisory centers, or VACs, around the world. They're like a global ash tracking network, using satellite imagery, ground observations, and computer models to monitor volcanic activity and track the movement of ash clouds.
So these VACs provide airlines with vital information about where the ash is and where it's heading, allowing them to make informed decisions about flight paths and cancellations.
Exactly. The VACs play a crucial role in keeping air travel safe, especially in volcanically active regions.
It's incredible how technology and international cooperation are being used to mitigate the risks posed by these natural events. We've been talking a lot about the impact on travel, the economy, and even the science of volcanic eruptions. But it's important to remember that at the heart of this story are the human stories. Let's turn our attention to the personal experiences of those directly impacted by this eruption. The residents of Flores who live in the shadow of Mount Lewotobi Laki-laki. It's just unimaginable what those people are going through right now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We see these incredible images, of the ash plume reaching high into the sky. But what we often don't see are the faces of those forced to flee their homes. Over 15,000 people have been evacuated, seeking shelter in crowded centers, facing uncertainty and fear.
Yeah, and it's hard to even imagine the stress and anxiety they must be experiencing, having to leave everything behind. What are some of the immediate challenges that these evacuees are facing?
Well, the most pressing needs are the basics, right? Food, clean water, and medical supplies. These evacuation centers are under immense strain, trying to accommodate so many people with limited resources. And beyond the physical needs, there's the emotional toll. These people have lost their homes, their sense of security, and their livelihoods. The psychological impact of this disaster can't be overlooked.
It's a reminder that the human cost of natural disasters
Yeah.
extends far beyond the initial headlines. And while we're focusing on the immediate aftermath, what about the long-term recovery? What kind of support will these communities need to rebuild their lives?
Well, the road to recovery will be long and challenging. They'll need help rebuilding their homes, restoring their farms, and revitalizing their local economies.
Right.
Many relied on agriculture or tourism, both of which have been severely disrupted. It will require a concerted effort from the government, aid organizations, and the international community to provide ongoing support and resources.
It's a stark reminder that we live in an interconnected world. And when disaster strikes one part of the globe, it's a call to action for all of us to offer support and solidarity.
Absolutely. And we're already seeing that compassion in action. People from around the world are donating money, supplies, and their time to help those affected. It's a testament to the human spirit of resilience and our capacity for empathy in times of crisis.
It's a powerful message of hope amidst the devastation. And while we can't control the forces of nature, we can control how we respond to these events. By coming together, offering aid, and learning from this experience, we can help these communities rebuild and emerge stronger.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the immediate impact of the eruption on travel and tourism to the scientific explanations behind volcanic activity. But most importantly, we've heard the human stories behind this natural disaster. It's a reminder that behind the headlines and the dramatic images, there are real people whose lives have been irrevocably changed.
We encourage you to stay informed, stay engaged, and consider how you can contribute to the recovery efforts. Every bit of support, no matter how small, can make a difference in helping these communities rebuild and heal.
And as we go about our daily lives, let's remember the power of nature, our interconnectedness as a global community, and the importance of extending a helping hand to those in need.
Thank you for joining us for this important update. Stay safe and be kind.